All right, here we go. All right, Radio Row, I'm shocked, man. I've been here. I got to start doing the Herschel Walker workout, like 1,000 sit-ups a day. I'm only up to about 10 right now because
That's a start. That's a start.
Herschel Walker, one of my all-time favorite guys, and we go back. Actually, when he got to play for the Philadelphia Eagles, I was working at ESPN, and he was out of work, and the Eagles needed a running back, and I called the Eagles. I called Herschel. We put it together, man, and you became an Eagle for a short time.
And I loved it. I tell you, I loved it. I still keep in touch with Randall Cunningham, who's a minister now. He got his own church in Vegas. I went out to see him out there, and I tell you, I love Philly. I love Philly. I love the people. I love how hard they work, and it was all about the game, which is what it should be about. When you're a professional football player, it should be about the game.
Now, you still work. I mean, you look the same as you did 20 years ago, man, when I first was talking to you. You still now? How many sit-ups? You still do that regimen?
Well, I'm doing about 1,500 now. Back then, when you were talking to me, I was doing about 5,000 push-ups and sit-ups every day. Right now, I've cut down.
Cut down to 1,500.
About 3,500 sit-ups. But the reason why is I tell people all the time because I'm competing against guys like Matt.
Right.
You know, I'm not competing against guys like my sister next door, my cousin down the street. I'm competing against some of the best in the world. So I'm going to have to do a little bit more since I'm not a weightlifter. So I started doing all the push-ups and sit-ups.
Because I remember when you first started talking about MMA and people thought, it's a joke. You know, that's a serious business. But you're a serious guy, man. So you started doing it and you got into it.
I did. I got into it and I absolutely loved it. You know, a lot of people don't know when I was in college, I would play on Saturdays, go to church Sunday morning, and I fought in Taekwondo tournament Sunday afternoon. And I've always loved MMA. And when they put the weight classes in it and they start really putting it together, I fell in love with the sport, and I was so fortunate that Scott Coker, at the time we had a strike force, gave me an opportunity. But what he did, he didn't just say, Herschel, I'm going to get you to fight. He said, Herschel, what I want you to do, if you go to a great training camp, I'll get you a fight. So I went out to AKA for 10 months, and I trained at AKA for 10 months before I got my first fight. So I got to thank Scott Coker now, who is taking over Bellator. And that's the fight that Matt going to be fighting on the February 18th. And I got to thank Scott Coker for all that.
You keep mentioning Matt. Matt Mitrione is here, and he's going to be fighting Fedor, or whatever. It's. How do you pronounce it, Matt?
Well, I pronounce it Fedor, but technically I believe in Russia it's Fedor.
Fedor,
yes, sir.
Who's one of the all-time greats, 40 years old now, still fighting. He hasn't fought in this country since 2011. He's been fighting overseas.
And he lost in San Jose.
Exactly, and down in the Shark Tank.
Yep.
So you're fighting him on Bellator MMA coming up February 18th, as Herschel mentioned. How long have you been doing this? Because I know you played football at Purdue. You were in the NFL for a couple stops. Now, when did you decide you wanted to be an MMA fighter?
Well, you know, I never really decided I wanted to be an MMA fighter. When the NFL got done with me, week 6 of 2005, my son was born that following week. Then I told Mike Tice, one of the Vikings, told Mike Tice, like, look, man, either you guys bring me back for the season, I'm not going to be an off-season acquisition. So bring me back or I'm done. And they kept calling every week, we're going to bring you back. Never did. By the end of the season, Mike Tice called, said, hey, look, we're going to bring you back. The season's over. I was like, I'm out, man. I retire. I thought I was going to chase the pipe dream. I started the company, a sports nutrition company, where we made a post-workout formula. We were in a guy named Jason Worth, plays baseball, Washington Nationals. Used to play for the Phillies.
Yeah, I know Jason Worth.
Yeah.
He's got a big beard. You're going to grow it out like that, man? You're going to get that look?
If I could, I would, brother. this is what you got. So Worth calls me up, and he's like, hey, we're from the same hometown. Why don't you jump on an amateur MMA card I'm trying to promote? And I said, sure, why not? So then I got injured training for that. Was friends with the guys that I was training with by that time. And then all of a sudden, 6 months later, the Ultimate Fighter calls up and says, hey, we hear you're a loudmouth, obnoxious heavyweight who's playing the NFL but has no fights. Why don't you come on out here?
Calling card.
Why don't you come out here and be obnoxious for us and see if you sell it? And so I did, and I've been a fighter ever since. I actually only went on the Ultimate Fighter just to propagate my company, just to put my product, my bottles, throughout the shop or throughout the house so they would see it, you know? And that's all I did it for. And then all of a sudden I find out this is my job 9 years later, whatever it was, 7 years later.
Yeah, and I remember Robin and I, well, Robin wasn't there, but I went to the Playboy Mansion used to host Strike Force fights back when I was in L.A. for 11 years. So, I mean, I go back to, UFC back in 2000. So
and you were hanging at the Playboy Mansion?
Oh, yeah, a couple times. Whenever there was a party, I would have
been invited there.
You've never been to the Playboy Mansion, Herschel?
And now they've closed it down. It's a complete outrage.
I feel so sad. My mom would have killed me, but I never done it. So. But I was kind of jealous when you mentioned it.
We were at the Playboy Mansion one time, and we had been drinking kind of heavily, a group of friends of mine, and Jamie Kennedy,
yes,
the actor, was there.
Yeah, another Philly guy, Jamie Kennedy.
And he was doing something. He was being so obnoxious. I can't remember what it was. and somebody depantsed him right in the middle of the party. Like
that's what happens.
Pantsed him. Yeah, I was
Usually
like,
they do that to women there, though. The women depants the guys, though, so it's okay if the women do it.
Talk about that. My mom really gonna get
I know.
upset.
She down in Georgia. She listening down in Georgia,
Yeah.
Hirsch?
I never seen that in Georgia like that. I'm like,
No, they don't do that down there.
Yeah, no. Hey, my mom is a minister. I tell people I would have got a spanking. Oh, well, I better not mention spanking. No.
Well, imagine how my
Spanking,
my mom and dad felt when they saw a picture of me at the Playboy Mansion in the grotto. Now, mind you, I was fully clothed, but I
No,
met.
be honest now.
Yes, you
I
was.
was.
No,
I
they
was. Look at the
airbrush
picture to
now.
prove it. But I met the hedgehog. I met.
The hedgehog.
What? Now it's totally blanking on it.
We don't
No,
want to
no, no,
mention
no.
any names of
But then
adult entertainers.
the
Herschel's
adult-
already in
Promote
trouble.
him.
The hedgehog. What's the hedgehog?
Why
What's his
can't I
name?
think of
Ron
his
Jeremy.
Ron Jeremy.
Jeremy.
Oh,
I have a
Are you
picture
serious? Hey, we
with
don't wanna
Ron
mention him.
Jeremy
Hey, we
in
don't
the
want to mention
grotto.
him right now.
Hey, you wake up, he'll show up. Be careful.
I know. My dad. My
I heard
dad's
you
so
say
proud.
his name.
All right, so Matt, you got to get ready. February 18th comes Saturday. It's going to be on. It's going to at the SAP Center in San Jose, the Shark Tank we like
Yes,
to
sir.
call it out
Yes,
there.
sir.
And it's going to be on Spike, right? 9 o'clock.
Spike, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. And dude, Fedor's a legend. He's the greatest heavyweight of all time, arguably the best fighter of all time. And he's the best of all time because he beat every name you've ever heard in MMA
Yep.
that's worth their salt. He beat them when they were in their prime in a myriad of different ways. He, striking, TKOs, ground and pound, grappling, submissions, arm locks, chokes. He's the best. And I'm going to steal his legacy. I'm going to do my best to go out there and take everything he's got.
And he's 40, so how old are you now?
I'm 38, but I'm a spry 38.
Yeah, because you look.
Yes.
I mean, it's amazing when you think a guy's 38, 40, still going in there, man.
I mean, look at this
Look
man.
at Herschel. Herschel's
Well,
only like
damn.
35,
Don't act
though.
like I'm old. Everybody don't act like I'm old. But I'll tell you about Matt. Matt is a heavyweight that can move. That's one thing that's great about him, and that's what's going to make this fight interesting. And I think Matt going to put his hands on him. Matt going to be able to move around. Fedor sort of comes straight forward.
He does.
And he comes straight forward, and he's ready to knock your head off, but Matt going to move on him.
All right, guys, I know you got to run. It's good to see you again, Herschel.
Hey,
And Matt,
thank you,
congrats,
now.
man,
Hey,
and
thank
good
you so
luck.
much.
And I hope you like the why. We give you.
I do. I have
I hope
some
these
fun.
other shows give you some sweet
Yes.
swag like we do,
Hey,
Yeah,
man.
and
tell you
well,
what,
you guys-
I'm not
you guys set
coming
the
on the
bar.
show. I thank you for the watching the glasses.
The
I
gold
tell you,
standard,
this is
man.
awesome.
That's
and,
a Joy
and
Joy
if you
watch.
don't mind, you tag Joy Joy Watches on the
Say the
media.
name again?
Joy
Joy Joy
Watches.
George watches. I love you, George.
They're
Thank you.
fantastic. I mean, they go through the laundry and everything.
Yeah, you
don't
can
have
get
to
them
worry.
wet. You
Oh,
can,
yeah.
when you're doing sit-ups in the morning, you won't have to
when
worry
I'm doing
about.
sit-ups and push-ups, I'm wearing my George watch.
There you go.
Exactly. Thank you, Herschel. Thanks, Matt. Good luck, man. Bellator MMA. You can go to Bellator.com, but check it out on Spike TV Saturday, February 18th from the SAP Center in San Jose. Good to come on. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Now.
guys.
Thank you.